Peanuts. Maybe that salty, crunchy snack you've loved since childhood. A handful during sports, another handful after a walk. Now think about this. What kind of effect does this seemingly innocent snack have on a body over 60? As we age, our body's tolerance changes. Many foods that were easily digested and tolerated when young start causing different reactions as we get older. Organs, especially the liver, become more fragile over time because of the accumulated burden. And right at this point, some foods that most people think of as healthy start quietly causing harm. Peanuts are at the top of that list, because each bite carries a potential threat: aflatoxin. The truth about aflatoxin. Aflatoxin is a powerful toxin produced by mold species like Aspergillus flavus and Aspergillus parasiticus. Since peanuts grow and are stored in warm, humid conditions, they are highly sensitive to this toxin. This means the peanuts you buy at the store, packaged and marketed as natural and protein-rich, might actually be slowly harming your body. Scientific studies show that aflatoxin directly affects liver cells and can lead to liver cancer in the long run, especially in older individuals with weakened immune systems and livers tired from years of wear. This toxin can be much more destructive. Another danger is this: aflatoxin is heat-resistant. So even if peanuts are roasted, this toxin doesn't disappear. Mild stomach discomfort, fatigue, and loss of appetite might be caused by aflatoxin buildup, but often this connection is missed. Risk of allergic reactions. Another danger older adults face is peanut allergy. Although most allergic people notice this when young, changes in the immune system as we age can turn foods that were harmless before into threats. Reactions that start as mild itching or nausea can become more systemic with age. Serious conditions like low blood pressure, shortness of breath, and even anaphylactic shock can occur. Salt and processed fat problems. Most peanuts on store shelves are roasted and salted. Excess salt consumption makes it even harder for older adults to manage blood pressure, which is already at risk. Plus, the processed oils used in roasting can create trans fats. These fats are very dangerous for artery health, cholesterol balance, and heart health. In short, a handful of peanuts isn't just calories. At this age, every little choice makes a difference. Are there healthy alternatives? Of course. There are alternatives nutritionally similar to peanuts, but with lower health risks. We'll talk about this in later parts of our series. The most important thing you need to know today is this: peanuts aren't a harmless habit, especially for those over 60. They can be a silent, sneaky threat that leads to serious problems over time. It's time to start judging what you eat not just by taste, but by what it does to your body in the long run. Peanuts aren't a harmless habit, especially for people over 60. They can be a silent, sneaky threat that may lead to serious problems over time. It's time to start judging what you eat not just by how it tastes, but by what it does to your body in the long run. And now, let's move on to the second nut that harms your body without you even noticing: bitter almonds. Because sometimes, just one of them is enough to mess up your whole system. Don't forget to subscribe, because this information could change your life. When we hear almond, most of us think health. Heart-friendly, cholesterol balancing, packed with vitamin E. But that idea only applies to sweet almonds. Because there's another type from the same family that can cause dangerous problems if eaten unknowingly: bitter almonds. Bitter almonds look a lot like sweet almonds. Most people can't tell them apart. But this small difference can become deadly as you get older. That's because bitter almonds contain amygdalin, a natural toxin. When digested, this substance turns into hydrogen cyanide in the body. Yes, you heard that right. Cyanide. Cyanide risk and the aging body. Cyanide is a poison that blocks the respiratory chain and stops cells from using oxygen. Even a young body struggles with this toxin, but the risk is much greater for older bodies. That's because metabolism slows down with age, the liver's detox ability decreases, and kidneys become more sensitive. Plus, an older person already under strain from years of medications has a harder time handling toxic loads like this. So just a few bitter almonds can cause dizziness, nausea, heart palpitations, and confusion. Eating a large amount can lead to hospitalization or worse. Why is it so easy to mix them up? Most almonds sold in stores are sweet almonds. But some natural or farm-produced nut mixes might contain small amounts of bitter almonds. The risk is especially higher in those sold with their shells on. Many people unknowingly eat these mixes. The taste is stronger and more bitter than sweet almonds, but most people think this means natural. Actually, this bitterness is a warning sign for cyanide. Some recipes even use bitter almond flavor. These products are usually heat-treated and made safe. But real bitter almonds used in homemade liqueurs, sweets, or jams, especially if not fully heated, can cause cyanide poisoning. Food labels and what to watch for older people. Food labels aren't just guides, they're safety measures. If you see bitter almonds on a product, always research the ingredients before eating. Mixed nuts sold loose don't always guarantee origin, processing, or safety. For homemade products, it's unknown how well they're cooked or how much is raw. That's why the safest choice for people over 60 is to avoid bitter almonds completely. In summary, bitter almonds are deceptive in appearance, but threatening in content. The risk is even greater for older adults. Just because something is natural doesn't mean it's safe. Nature sometimes hides its deadliest poisons in the most innocent shells. Now, moving on to the next nut. It looks healthy from the outside, but just 2 pieces can push you over the daily limit. And once that limit is crossed, a chain reaction starts from hair loss to nervous system disorders. Brazil nuts. The star of luxury mixed nut platters and a must-have recommendation for healthy snacking. Known as selenium-rich, these large, creamy nuts have been praised for years for supporting the immune system. But there's a fact often overlooked in these praises. Brazil nuts are also among the foods with the highest natural selenium content in the world. And selenium, when taken in excess, stops being beneficial and becomes harmful. Especially if you're over 60, things get even more complicated. Because as you age, your body's detox systems slow down, mineral balances become more fragile, and toxic loads can cause deeper effects. Selenium, helpful or dangerous? Selenium is, of course, vital for the body. It protects cells from oxidative stress, supports the immune system, and regulates thyroid functions. But here's the critical line. There's a very narrow gap between the needed amount and the harmful dose. The average adult needs about 55 micrograms of selenium per day. And now pay attention. Just one Brazil nut contains around 90 to 95 micrograms of selenium. So with only 2 nuts, you've already exceeded the daily limit. Effects of excess selenium in the short term. Too much selenium causes nausea, dizziness, irritability, and a metallic taste in the mouth. But long-term effects can be much more serious. Hair loss, brittle nails, nervous system disorders, even irregular heart rhythms. Especially in older adults, these symptoms can be mistaken for other illnesses. Hair loss might be blamed on age, dizziness on low blood pressure, irritability on psychological fatigue. But sometimes the only problem is those few Brazil nuts eaten every morning. People with kidney disease, thyroid imbalance, or liver dysfunction have an even heavier toxic load from excess selenium. Natural isn't always safe. Brazil nuts are often sold labeled as natural or organic. But the word natural here can be misleading, because some natural substances, when taken in high doses, can be as dangerous as synthetic toxins. Brazil nuts are a concrete example of this. Being natural doesn't mean being safe. Natural poison is still poison. Moreover, the soil where these nuts grow often contains heavy metals. Some studies show Brazil nuts can accumulate harmful elements like cadmium and radium. This varies by geography and processing methods, but older bodies are more sensitive to these risks. How much and when? If you want to eat Brazil nuts, you should limit yourself to 2 to 3 per week and consume them sporadically rather than daily. Habits like eating 4 to 5 nuts a day can quickly cause selenium buildup in the body. This buildup can trigger health issues that are hard to reverse over time. Sometimes healthy eating is not about more, but about knowing the right amount. This balance becomes vital, especially for those 60 and older, because in old age, excess is rarely health. Now, moving on to the next nut. Its name sounds harmless. It's sold as raw in stores. But the truth is quite different. This nut may carry the same toxin as poison ivy. Don't forget to subscribe, because knowledge is sometimes the strongest protection. Those creamy, soft nuts sold as raw cashews on store shelves. They're one of the first things that come to mind when talking about healthy snacks. Especially in vegan recipes, they're used as a dairy alternative. But if you're over 60, you should take a closer look at that raw label. Because raw cashews, if not processed properly, carry a natural poison, urushiol. This toxin might sound familiar because urushiol is the same substance found in poison ivy. It's a strong chemical that can cause allergic reactions when it touches the skin. Now think about it. With your immune system at this age, what could happen if you're exposed to this substance from the inside? Urushiol, the same molecule as poison ivy urushiol, naturally exists in the shell of the cashew. That's why true raw cashews aren't actually allowed to be sold as is. Because if eaten directly, this toxin can seriously harm both the digestive system and the immune system. So the raw cashews you see in stores are actually steamed or heat-treated to remove the toxins. But here's the problem. Not every producer is that careful. Cashews sold loose, from uncertain or unregulated brands, may still contain urushiol residue. And at this age, exposure to such a toxin can cause much more than just a stomachache. Effect of urushiol on the older body, even in young people, urushiol can cause itching, redness, and rash on the skin. In older bodies, it can have systemic effects. Because the digestive system becomes more sensitive, immune cells weaken, and kidney detox capacity drops, the body may not fight off this toxin properly. This can show up as diarrhea, vomiting, fatigue, low blood pressure, and skin rashes. In some cases, urushiol reactions can become severe enough to require hospitalization. Raw label, marketing, or reality. It's hard to tell if cashews labeled raw are truly raw. Some might be lightly roasted at low temperatures, which may not completely destroy urushiol. This risk is higher in cheap products or those sold without packaging. Labels like organic or natural don't always mean safe either, because the presence of toxins depends on processing, not natural origin. If the process isn't carefully managed, the risk stays the same no matter how organic the product is. Uses to avoid raw cashews are often used in homemade sauces, sweets, and cheese alternatives. But in these recipes, cashews are usually just soaked or briefly heated. This isn't enough to eliminate urushiol, especially for older adults with weakened immune systems, regular medication, or chronic illnesses. This is a serious threat. The toxin doesn't build up in the body, but repeated exposure can cause stronger reactions each time. What starts as a mild reaction can become more severe on the second or third exposure. Are there alternatives? Definitely. Safer and nutritious alternatives like almonds, sunflower seeds, or roasted hazelnuts can be used instead of cashews. When making healthy recipes, safety should come before novelty. Especially after 60, it's not the look of a dish but the burden on your body that matters. In conclusion, raw cashews sound innocent, but carry a toxin that can cause serious health problems in older adults. At this age, what you need every meal isn't something that tires your cells, but something that supports them. Cashews can be eaten occasionally if properly processed. But if you're unsure about the source, don't take the risk. And now it's time to leave the bad kids behind in this series. We'll talk about the good ones next. Nuts that boost memory, support blood vessels, and keep cells young. Don't forget to subscribe, because this time, we'll talk about foods that don't fight aging, but befriend it. As we get older, forgetfulness increases, focus scatters, and sometimes words just hang on the tip of your tongue. Many people accept this as normal aging. But some foods can create a natural defense shield against this slowing down of the brain. And perhaps the strongest of these foods is right within our reach, the walnut. Even its shape reminds us of the brain. And for years in traditional medicine, it has been known as a brain-friendly food. Today, science backs up this intuition. Walnuts are a superfood that, especially after age 60, strengthen memory, slow neurological aging, and protect the brain against oxidative stress. Brain-nourishing fats. Walnuts are extremely rich in alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid. This fat directly supports the structure of nerve cells in the brain. Thanks to its anti-inflammatory properties, ALA is crucial not just for heart health, but for brain health as well. Research shows that regular walnut consumption slows cognitive decline associated with aging. In older adults experiencing mild forgetfulness, walnuts can make a noticeable difference in both short and long-term memory. Polyphenol and brain protection. Walnuts aren't just healthy fats. They contain polyphenol plant antioxidants that prevent free radical damage in the brain. As we age, increased oxidative stress damages brain cells, leading to memory loss, distraction, and focus problems over time. Walnuts help slow down this process. Additionally, walnuts contain melatonin precursors, the sleep hormone, which indirectly supports sleep problems common in older adults. Better sleep means a clearer mind. Blood flow and neurological health. Walnuts have an amino acid called arginine that helps relax blood vessels. This increases blood flow to the brain. Better circulation means better oxygenation and improved cognitive performance. For older adults with low blood pressure or circulation issues, this can directly impact mental clarity. Walnuts also balance cholesterol and prevent artery blockages, supporting brain vessel health. This helps reduce the risk of stroke and dementia. How much should you eat daily? The ideal amount is 3 to 5 whole walnut halves per day, about a handful. More than that can add extra calories, but at this dose, walnuts provide a balanced boost of fats, antioxidants, and fiber. You can eat them on an empty stomach, mix them into yogurt at breakfast, sprinkle on salads, or snack on them between meals. Soaking walnuts helps digestion and may reduce gas for some people. Not memory loss, but youthfulness. Walnuts are more than just nuts, they're a natural support system for an aging brain. Instead of accepting forgetfulness as fate, remember the steps you can take through nutrition. Because memory loss isn't destiny. With the right diet, the mind can stay clear and lively for many years. Walnuts are one of the strongest allies in this fight. Next up is another miracle that strengthens the heart and protects blood vessels. It may not catch your eye with its looks, but its effect even changes heartbeats. As we age, the heart's voice deserves more attention. Every palpitation, every sign of fatigue should be taken more seriously, because that heart has been working nonstop for decades and carries the weight of all those years. That's why protecting heart health in old age isn't just about medication, it's also about the right foods. And here comes a green treasure to the rescue: pistachios. A handful of pistachios isn't just a tasty snack. It's like a biological support team for your cardiovascular system. What's more, these tiny nuts are rich enough to target many risks that come with aging on their own. Effects on cholesterol balance. Pistachios are loaded with heart-friendly fats. Their monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats help lower bad cholesterol, LDL, while raising good cholesterol, HDL. For people over 60, controlling LDL is critical to reducing the risk of artery hardening and heart attacks. Studies show that regular pistachio consumption leads to a noticeable drop in total cholesterol levels. This effect isn't just from the fats, but also from phytosterols they contain. Phytosterols block cholesterol absorption in the intestines, helping balance cholesterol levels. Blood pressure and vessel dilation. One of the most common problems with aging is high blood pressure. The potassium in pistachios acts as a natural blood pressure regulator. Potassium balances out the harmful effects of sodium, relaxes blood vessels, and improves blood flow. This reduces strain on the heart and supports circulation to the brain. Additionally, pistachios contain an amino acid called arginine. Arginine helps relax vessels, increasing blood flow and balancing blood pressure. This supports not just heart health, but the entire circulatory system. Rich in antioxidants. Pistachios are rich in antioxidants like vitamin E, lutein, and beta-carotene. These protect cells from oxidative stress and slow the aging process. Keeping heart muscle cells healthy depends on regular intake of these antioxidants. Thanks to antioxidants, inflammation in blood vessels also decreases, lowering the risk of blockages. Since many heart diseases stem from vessel inflammation, this is a big advantage for older adults. Effect on blood sugar. Another common issue in older adults is blood sugar imbalance. Pistachios have a low glycemic index, meaning they don't cause sudden blood sugar spikes. Plus, their fiber and protein content keeps you full longer, helping curb overeating and improving insulin sensitivity. Because of these traits, pistachios can be especially beneficial for older adults at risk of diabetes or with insulin resistance. How much should you eat? The ideal amount is 20 to 30 grams daily, about a handful with shells on. Choose unsalted and unroasted ones. Otherwise, excess sodium may raise blood pressure and cause harm instead of benefit. You can enjoy pistachios as a snack, mixed with yogurt, or at breakfast. Natural, unsalted, and preferably raw pistachios are always the healthiest choice. Conclusion: pistachios are a miracle that shows protecting heart health isn't just about clinical treatments, it can also be done in the kitchen. They hold one of the most needed balances for an aging body: balancing cholesterol, regulating blood pressure, opening vessels, and protecting the heart. Next up is another nut that strengthens your bones, supports your muscles, and adds flexibility to your joints. Every bite acts like a natural supplement for bone health. Don't forget to subscribe, because the next episode offers golden advice for a skeletal system that gets stronger, not weaker, with age. As we age, not only our hair, but also our bones become thinner. This process starts quietly. It shows itself with mild knee pains, spinal compression, and difficulty standing up in the mornings. Osteoporosis, joint stiffness, muscle weakness. Many believe these are inevitable in old age. But the right nutrition can slow down this gradual decline. And you have a powerful ally right at your fingertips: hazelnuts. For most people, hazelnuts are just a baking ingredient or a snack. But actually, they are the silent supporters of aging bones. Thanks to the minerals, vitamins, and healthy fats they contain, hazelnuts keep the skeletal system strong, support the joints, and maintain muscle bone integrity. Magnesium. The invisible support for bones. Hazelnuts are rich in magnesium. This mineral plays a critical role in bone health, just like calcium. Magnesium increases bone density, helps calcium settle into the bones, and activates vitamin D. Magnesium deficiency is common as we age. And if this deficiency goes unnoticed, bones start weakening. One of the easiest and most natural ways to increase magnesium intake is to include hazelnuts in your daily diet. Vitamin E, cellular protection and inflammation reduction. Hazelnuts are also among nature's most generous sources of vitamin E. This powerful antioxidant protects cell membranes, fights inflammation, and reduces oxidative stress that causes bone loss. Vitamin E is especially beneficial for older adults with rheumatic diseases or osteoarthritis. Additionally, vitamin E supports skin health, reducing age spots and dryness. So hazelnuts support not just your inside, but also your appearance. Calcium and phosphorus support, though in small amounts. Hazelnuts contain calcium and phosphorus. These minerals work together to maintain bone hardness. For those who cannot consume dairy products, hazelnuts stand out as a plant-based calcium source. The zinc they contain is also necessary for bone tissue repair. This versatile mineral support from hazelnuts becomes even more important as bone breakdown speeds up with age. Because it's not just calcium, but other supporting minerals that decrease in old age. Protein and muscle support. Bone health isn't only about the skeleton. Muscles play a role too. If muscles weaken, the skeletal system bears more pressure. Hazelnuts are a quality source of plant-based protein. While their fiber supports digestion, their protein preserves muscle tissue. This support is especially important for older adults who are physically active. How much should you eat daily? About 25 to 30 grams a day. A small handful of hazelnuts is enough. Choose unsalted and unroasted ones. Roasting can damage some vitamins. Also, consuming hazelnuts along with yogurt, salad, or oats increases absorption. A few hazelnuts as a midday snack or at breakfast give energy and support bone health. Conclusion: hazelnuts quietly but firmly support your bones in old age. They may not be as flashy as other nuts, but their function is great. They increase bone density, fight inflammation, and protect muscles. So they're not just a snack, they're a natural solution against bone loss in old age. And now we've reached the final stop. After heart, brain, and bones, it's time for a super nut that supports your entire body system at once. Effective from memory to vessels, from gut to skin renewal. And you probably already know it. Don't forget to subscribe, because now we're moving on to the healing side of almonds, with their sweet but balanced power. At the start of our series, we talked about the dangerous cousin of almonds, the bitter almond. Now, we come to the kind-hearted member of the same family, the sweet almond. This nut, mentioned for years in diet plans, heart-healthy recipes, and skincare, is actually one of the most valuable foods in old age. Almonds protect the heart, nourish the skin, support blood vessels, and even kickstart the slowing metabolism that comes with age. Just a handful of almonds has the power to improve your quality of life. And this power isn't just about the nutrients inside. It's also about how it works in your body. Strong contribution to heart and vessel health. Sweet almonds are heart-friendly thanks to their rich monounsaturated fat content. These fats help lower bad cholesterol, LDL, while raising good cholesterol, HDL. They also contain vitamin E, flavonoids, and phytochemicals. These antioxidants protect blood vessel walls, reduce inflammation, and regulate circulation. Regular almond consumption lowers the risk of heart attacks and strokes, which increase with age. It helps regulate blood pressure and prevents artery hardening. In short, almonds help your heart work in a more rhythmic and balanced way. Blood sugar balance and diabetes support. One of the biggest issues in old age is blood sugar fluctuations. Almonds have a low glycemic index, so they don't cause rapid blood sugar spikes. Thanks to their high fiber and healthy fat content, they improve insulin sensitivity and slow down sugar absorption into the blood. Many studies show that eating a few almonds before meals significantly slows the rise in blood sugar afterward. This is especially important for older adults at risk for type 2 diabetes or with borderline values. Role in skin and cellular renewal. Almonds' contribution to skin health isn't just cosmetic, it's cellular. Their vitamin E, zinc, copper, and niacin content supports skin cell repair, maintains elasticity, and reduces age spots. At this age, skin dryness, thinning, and sensitivity increase. The natural oils in almonds slow this process. By affecting deeper skin tissues, they provide support not only on the surface but structurally. Thanks to their folate content, almonds also support cell division and renewal, refreshing not just skin but all body cells. Bone and muscle strength. Almonds are rich in calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus. This mineral combo is necessary to maintain bone density and help muscles work more effectively. A daily handful of almonds offers natural support to balance declining bone mineral density and preserve muscle mass with age. Plus, almonds provide plant-based protein that not only fuels energy, but also helps prevent muscle loss. Digestive friend and appetite controller. Almonds' fiber content helps keep the digestive system regular. They alleviate constipation, a common problem in older adults. Their satiating effect helps prevent unnecessary snacking, supporting weight control. By aiding digestion, almonds offer a big advantage for older adults with slower digestive systems. They also help balance stomach acid, acting as a buffer against reflux and gastritis. How much should you eat daily? An ideal daily amount is 25 to 30 grams, about 20 to 23 almonds. Choose shelled, unsalted, and preferably raw almonds. Soaked almonds are easier to digest and free from enzyme inhibitors, increasing vitamin and mineral absorption. Eating a few almonds at breakfast, as snacks, or before bedtime can make a big difference over time. Almonds are one of the rare foods that can support all the systems an aging body needs at once: heart, vessels, brain, skin, bones, and digestion. They quietly but effectively touch them all. Plus, they're tasty, accessible, and almost free of side effects. In this video, we covered 4 dangerous nuts to avoid in old age and 4 beneficial ones you should definitely include, with detailed explanations. Acting on accurate information about each is not just a health choice, it's a quality of life decision. Now you know, the right nuts are not just snacks, they can be keys to a long, strong, and healthy life. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like the video because healthy aging starts with the right knowledge.